Hey everyone, hope you're doing fantastic and enjoying these little lessons. I have a really cool one for you today, so let's jump right into it. Now, there are two cool things about that lick or phrase that I played in the intro. First of all, it's the technical component, which of course I'll cover. And secondly, it's the music theory part, the note choice element in it, which is very simple but very powerful. If you learn it, you can kind of use it to open your ears and fingers to play over different chord progressions and different sounds. And not a lot of people use it for whatever reason. So it all starts with the minor pentatonic, first position that we all love. I'm tuned down a half step, so this is going to sound like C minor for you, but it really doesn't matter. It applies to any position you play. Okay, we all know that. And the degrees are 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, 1. What we're going to do is we're just going to change one note in this position. We're going to make the minor third a major third. We're going to move it up. We're going to sharp it, move it up a fret, however you want to call it. And that gives us this. See, it's a really cool sound. Now, this is not to be confused with the major pentatonic scale. Even though they're both major scales because they have a major third, the major pentatonic is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1. And our new scale, which doesn't even have a proper name as far as I know, it's 1 major third, 4, 5, flat 7, 1. Major pentatonic is, you see it's a subtle difference, but to me, the pentatonic scale has 5 notes. So you're basically choosing what notes not to play from the full 7-note diatonic, minor, or major scale. It's really simple. Diatonic scale, 7 notes, pentatonic scales, 5 notes. So you're choosing what 2 notes not to play. And by choosing what to avoid, you're creating a really versatile scale. That's why pentatonic works so well over different chords, because you're avoiding certain notes that don't sound good over a bunch of chords. You know, you have to be more specific when you get into the diatonic scale. So it's by taking stuff away, you're creating a sound. And what's cool about this scale we just created, it's a very different sound from the major pentatonic, because to me it sounds a little more exotic and edgy, because you have the 1, obviously with the root, then you have the 3, and the 4. So that little half step change gives you, then you slide to the 5, then the flat 7. I added a few notes there, but it's this. And that's a very different sound. It's more exotic. It's different from the major pentatonic scale, which has more of that kind of classic rock, southern rock, Allman Brothers Band, Lynyrd Skynyrd sound in it. So we basically created a new shape or scale that we can now use. And what's cool about it is it still has 2 notes per string, like the original minor pentatonic shape we used. So we can still do all this stuff we normally do with a minor shape over a kind of a major Mixolydian dominant 7 exotic sound. So instead of, that's the minor thing, kind of like a Kirk Hammett Metallica thing, so you're just doing major. And also, so you can do, or here, this is a great example. For blues stuff, a lot of players obviously do. But here you have the major third, so. See, I'm grabbing this major third instead of here. You can also grab it here. So you have. This is a great sound also. You can go from major third, 4, into the 7. There's Prince uses it, Alice Cooper. There's that song Poison. See, and Prince. Really, really cool sound. Another great trick is playing the 4. That was a little sharp. See, I'm kind of blending a few Mixolydian notes here, but the concept is still. Cool, so now let's go back to the original lick I was playing in the beginning of the video. Here, one more time. Sorry, I got carried away. Again. Okay, now first let me show it to you slow. So we're still in that position that we made. Okay, we're starting from the flat 7. Okay, I'll do it really slow. Sorry, I keep going sharp on this guitar because it's tuned a half step down. I don't play it often. It's a little too slinky. Okay, now let's break it down what's going on here. First of all, there are a few cool things here, and my style of learning and teaching is the same. It's basically, I like to see it as kind of like layers of an onion or something. Onion doesn't smell good, but it's something more fragrant with layers. The outside layer is just what's the lick? What are you playing? And that's why I used to study stuff. You know, I would learn stuff by ear and, you know, dream theater, all these weird things, difficult things. And I would play it and I didn't exactly know what was going on. And as I get older, I try to really extract as much information. So it gives you two benefits. First of all, you know what it is, so you can apply it. You can play that lick on your own stuff or phrase. And you can also extract different concepts from it that you might not think otherwise and apply it to something completely different. So in this case, for instance, there are a few cool things. First of all, some of you might know this pattern. It's a pattern of 6 notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In a pentatonic scale, it's just 2 notes per string. So okay, so I'm just doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But you can also pull it off like I did before. So I'll say 1 every time it's a group. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And it's a really cool concept, and that's what I'm doing here basically, but on our new shape. So I'm going up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if we want to do this position, this shape or this pattern over the entire scale, would be this. It's a little hard. You need to get used to it because you're used to going, and now you have to go. Okay? Now, there's another cool thing hiding. So this is a pattern you can use already. Now, there's another cool thing hiding underneath. The way I'm playing this pattern, traditionally it's played because it's 6 notes. You're playing it rhythmically as 6 notes per beat. So it means 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's basically like a triplet. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but twice as fast. Okay? So, and that's called a sextuplet. Now, growing up on 80s metal and shred and all that stuff, that's every time you see this rhythm. Okay? Sorry, I don't really play that style that much these days. I'm a little sloppy, but so that's 6 notes per string. That's that rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. And what's cool in this, what I'm doing here is, for the first half of the lick, I'm actually doing a little twist on it. I'm doing something that's called a hemiola. I learned that from Marty Friedman from Megadeth. Hemiola is when you take a group of notes and you play them in the rhythm that's a different grouping. So for instance, we're doing groups of 6 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, instead of playing it in sextuplets, which land on the beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, we do it as 16th notes. So it becomes this. So if 1, 2, 3, 4, that's sextuplets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But then if I do 16th notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. See, so it lands on different places in the beat because 6/4 doesn't always line up with the beat. So what I'm doing here is I'm playing 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And so I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. You see, it's a really cool sound. It's very different. And then what I do two interesting things. And instead of going to this next note of the scale that I showed you, I'm actually jumping up to the next note, which is also in the scale, but it's in the next position. And then I'm pulling off down. So okay, now that's a really, really cool trick I play on The Voice, on the TV show, and a lot of times I have to kind of shred on call, and maybe sometimes I don't know the song and I'm not comfortable. So that's a really good trick that always works and sounds impressive. So let's go back if we're in a minor pentatonic scale. You know, the blues, the stuff we all use every day. You basically you jump to this note instead of this guy, to this guy, and you pull back off. So you see, okay, and it's actually not as hard as it sounds. Because it's basically, that note is already there. Okay, and so that's what I'm doing there, but with a major, which is really cool. Okay, so I'm going. Okay, now, so two things we learned. First of all, hemiola. You play one kind of rhythm, like 1, 2, 3. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm just going back and forth to kind of hammer it into your brains and mine. So 6 notes as sextuplets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, but as 16th notes. So it's a little fast to go. The sextuplets will always be a lot faster because it's 6 notes crammed into one beat. Okay, so that's the first thing we learned. Second thing, that concept with playing a pentatonic shape, but instead of going to the next note up in the scale, jump up with the extra finger you're not using, and then pull off. This is really useful. And then I keep going down in this case. Okay, so, and with a major, sorry. Now, so it was all 16th notes. And then I switch gears to sextuplets again, and I do these 3 notes, which is 6 notes, which is a little hard, with pull-offs. And then bend to the 1. So notice my fingerings, I'm going up. I move the first finger here. Instead of doing this, it's a little hard. I'm shifting my finger, so that's a little hard. I would practice that. It's hard for me to get super clean, but that's what it is. So again, so I'm going. So. Okay, enjoy.